Hey, what's up, everyone? You're here with Kirk and Goran, and thank you for joining us here once again. We have some more free picks for you this time for Wednesday, May 15th. Even though we don't have Champions League this week, Kirk, or the Europa League or the Conference League, we actually have quite a busy week with a lot of games, including this 8 picks that we have to talk about in this video, and a full slate of the MLS also on Wednesday. Picks for that you can find in a separate video up on the PickDawgz YouTube channel. So check it out, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. And as usual, feel free to leave a comment on any of these videos, and we'll be more than happy to engage with you, answer any of the questions and stuff like that. Now, I know, Kirk, that you do some videos as well for the NBA, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I do my daily cashing props with Kirk video. We've been hot. We've been hot on my premium NBA plays, 7-2 in the last 9 plays. So now's the perfect time to cash in. Also, Goron is Mr. MLS. I've been seeing his plays and he just doesn't miss there. So go check him out on MLS.
Yeah, I gotta say, MLS has been doing pretty well for me at the start of the season. Well, not even the start, we've been in quite a bit now. But for Saturday, I think of the 13 games that were scheduled, I lost only four. So
Crazy.
it was a pretty good Saturday. Yeah. So let's hope that that moves on to the Wednesday as well. Uh, like we said, guys, we have 8 games to talk about in this video, so let's get this show on the road, Kirk. A couple of games in the EPL, Brighton versus Chelsea being the first one. What are your thoughts about this one?
Ever since I've started on this show, I don't know why, but I've liked Chelsea. I think I caught them at the right time. I came on the show right when they were finding form. They've won their last 3 games. They've won their last four against Brighton, and here they're even money. So I'm gonna back Chelsea here at even money. Just going with the stats here in this one.
Yeah, you know what? Brighton has been anything but consistent in the second half of the season. The injuries got them, the lack of depth were a huge problem, and simply they did not play well, and it cost them a lot of points. It probably cost them a spot in Europe. I think that if they kept playing like they did in the first half of the season, they would definitely get to that Europa League or the Conference League spot. But right now, Chelsea is actually in a pretty good position to get there because they are what only a point away. Uh, Actually, they're even with Newcastle right now for that Conference League spot, and with a win here, they will get there and they will potentially qualify for Europe, which definitely means some money in in their pockets. But playing in European competition for such a big team is definitely a must. I do like Chelsea to win here. I think that they're playing really well. They are on a 3-game winning streak. But then again, I think that Brighton will try and contribute something here. They have been scoring goals against Chelsea, especially when playing at home. So instead of the sides, I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals at plus 100. Now, Kirk, for the second pick in the EPL, we have Manchester United playing against Newcastle. And honestly, with the way these two teams have been playing, I think this is a coin flip game.
Yeah, I don't really know what to expect here. I feel like we expected, or at least most people expected, a ton of goals in Arsenal Man U last weekend, and it was 1-0. There were a lot of chances for both sides, but I feel like the over under for this game is 3.5. And I don't think Man U will be in another low scoring game. They just aren't set for that. They aren't good enough to be low scoring, I feel like. So I'm gonna take the goals here over 3.5. I think it's gonna be a fun game and both sides will find the back of the net a couple times at least.
Yeah, I do like both teams scoring here. Newcastle is playing pretty well on both ends. Maybe not as much defensively as they are in the attacking end. They're definitely capable of scoring a lot of goals, especially against the sloppy defensive team like Manchester United is right now. I don't know how they conceded only 1 goal against Arsenal. They had some great chances to score as well. And now this is their second game in a row where they haven't scored a goal. And I think that they're due for a nice performance finally in that attacking end. And they might be getting Bruno Fernandes back for this game. And as much as I hate that guy as a player, I think he's a big crybaby. He does add stuff to this Manchester United team, and they are better with him in the lineup. So I do expect them to score at least a couple of goals here, in my opinion. So I'm taking Manchester United team total over 1.5 goals at -139. Off to Spanish Liga, Kirk, where you have a few games to talk about. The first one being Sevilla and Cadiz. That should be an interesting matchup. Sevilla slight favorite here at -114 at home. But they actually have been playing quite well lately, and I absolutely agree that they should be the favorites in this game.
Yeah, I think they should be more of the favorites here, to be honest with you. Sevilla was terrible at the beginning of the year. I actually had a bet on them to go top four, which was shot out the window after their first 10 games. But they finally seem to have found their form. They're at home against a Cadiz team that is trying to fight off relegation. But with the form that Sevilla is just in currently and the line, is only -115. Remember, do your shopping. Goran somehow always gets better lines than me. I don't know what's up with that. But do your shopping on this one, as Goran will tell you. And yeah, I'm just going to take Sevilla on the money line here.
We simply have to take Sevilla on the money line. There's just no way around it. I have it at -110 right now. Uh, yes, Cadiz is trying to fight off the relegation, but they're coming into this game with like 6 or 7 injured players. They are coming off of a win against Getafe 1-0 at home. But when playing on the road so far this season, Cadiz has 6 draws, 11 losses, and 0 wins with only 8 score goals in 17 games. So there's no way in hell I'm backing Cadiz here. Not at any price. We simply have to take Sevilla on the money line at this price, and we both have it. In the next game, we have Celta Vigo playing against Atletico Bilbao, and this is a case where the books simply could not make their mind up. It's a fairly evenly matched +160 on Celta at home, +175 on Bilbao, +235 on the draw, which means that they're not even expecting the draw. They don't know what to expect out of this game.
Yeah, Celta Vigo is a little bit favored here on the plus value, but I
Which,
could
which
I
I
could
gotta
see it.
say, I'm quite surprised by, if I'm being honest. With Bilbao fighting for the Champions League spot still, and Celta fighting to stay above the relegation, I'm not sure I agree why they are the favorites here.
Athletic Club is 8 points behind Madrid for the Champions League. They've already qualified for the Europa League as they're 8 points ahead of sixth place or seventh place Sociedad. So there's not really much to play for here. And Celta Vigo has won their last 2 games at home, and they'll need another win here. And I like Celta Vigo draw no bet -115. I don't think they're going to lose this game, but I like the insurance of having draw no bet. So that's going to be my bet in this one.
Well, you kind of say there's nothing left to play, and in a way, I do agree, but there's still 9 points in play. So theoretically, they could still catch up to Atletico Madrid if by some chance Atletico Madrid loses all 3 of their games. And if Bilbao drops at least, I don't know, 6 points in those 3 games, they could be under a lot of pressure from behind them. So I would assume that they would definitely go for the win here. Probably not to lose rather than go for the win, but with Celta Vigo being a very sloppy defensive team and still trying to stay above the relegation zone, I think that they will be the team that's going to go for the win here. But then again, they can't keep a clean sheet. So in this game, I'm simply going to take both teams to score at -139. The last pick in La Liga, Kirk, that we have is between Getafe and Atletico. And Atletico Madrid is coming off of a win. It really was a hard fought battle for them. They got a 1-0 win in the end. But this one could also be a very hard game for them.
Yeah, they got a 1-0 win against my friends of Celta Vigo. And going back to that, you said Atletico needs 1 or 2 points. I think they get the win here. They get all three, qualify for Champions League after today. They've won their last 3 games. Getafe has lost their last 2. I don't like Getafe in the spot. And Atletico money line is -135, so that's pretty good value. So I'm gonna back Atleti to qualify for the Champions League in this one and take the win.
Yeah, Getafe also hasn't scored a goal in any of their last two games, and I don't think they will score a goal here. Atletico has been stepping it up defensively as of late. They will be securing that Champions League spot here, yes. And with that in mind, I'm gonna take both teams to score no at minus 128. I honestly would not be surprised to see another 1-0 win for Atletico Madrid here.
Yeah, I mean they're the kings of 1-0 wins, so I completely agree.
Now off to Italy, Kirk, where we have Coppa Italia finale between Atalanta and Juventus. It's being played at Stadio Olimpico in Rome, which means it's a neutral venue. There's no home field advantage to either side. But right now, I just don't know how to go against Atalanta, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, we have very similar but different odds picks in this game. Um, I think this is going to be a hard game for Atalanta. They are in better form. I don't think I can go against backing them. I just can't back them in 90 minutes. I'm going to back Atalanta to lift the cup at minus 112. I think, as I said, they are the better team right now, and they should end up winning this, but you never know. So I like the insurance with them either winning in extra time or penalties if it comes to that.
Yeah, this is probably the first time in Atalanta's history that they have a chance to actually win two trophies in one season as they've qualified for the Europa League finale where they will meet Leverkusen. They are facing Juventus, who actually hasn't won any of their last six games. Yes, they have lost only one of those six games. They have five draws, and three of those have been in a row in their last three games. But right now, Atalanta has a lot more offensive firepower than Juventus has. Simply, they're playing a lot better football. This is a single leg matchup. There's potentially a chance for overtime and a penalty shootout, which is why I definitely like your pick quite a lot, and it still has a lot of value. You have Atalanta to lift the cup at minus 112. I would take Atalanta on the money line at plus 175. I think there's a ton of value in that pick, and honestly, I think that Juventus should be even bigger underdogs than they are in this game.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh, Off to the French League One, Kirk. A couple of games to talk about. Those have been postponed. I don't even know when, and now they're catching up. Nice is hosting PSG, who doesn't need anything out of this game. Mbappe sent out the video that he's leaving the club, so that's a done deal, which means that he will be in Real Madrid next season. Nice, on the other side, is trying to win that Champions League spot, and they definitely made their job easier by winning their weekend game against I don't even know who it was, but they won 1-0 if I'm not mistaken.
No, they won 1-0 against Le Havre.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
Yeah,
did you
I
see?
mean this game. Sorry.
No worries, go ahead.
This game, I whenever I see PSG at plus value, I just have to lean towards them just because there's so much value there. Mbappe has 2 games left in the French league for probably the rest of his career. Maybe he comes back 10 years down the line. But there's just I think they put out stellar lineups for the last 2 games, and they want to send Mbappe off correctly. So I like PSG at plus 155. I know that Nice has a ton to play for, but the quality is just on PSG's side here. If they do want to show it, I definitely think they can take all 3 points from it. So PSG plus 155.
Yeah, I do kind of agree with that. I think that they will put out the best lineup they could possibly have. They are on a three-game losing streak right now, and by no means I'm saying that Nice is gonna lose this game because they're playing pretty well. They're fighting for that Champions League spot, like I said. Right now they are in fifth place, which is 4 points below Brest, and they do have a game in hand. So potentially, if they get a point or a win out of this game, they will get one step closer. But I mean, defensively, they're very, very solid. And in the current form that PSG is, I think that they will need to make a sharp 180 and become a lot more effective than they have been over the last few games, which is nothing impossible for this team, of course. But I'm gonna take PSG over 4.5 quarters in this game. It's plus 100. I think that they will create a decent amount of chances, and I know that they will put a lot of pressure on Nice. And with that, I think that we should get some corners for PSG in this game as well. So you have them on the money line. I have their team total of over 4.5 corners. I think that this might be a win for the both of us. The last pick of this video, Kirk, is another French League One game between Reims and Marseille. Reims, since they made a coaching change, they haven't improved a lot. They haven't improved at all. They haven't won any of their last five League One games, while Marseille hasn't lost any of their last four League One games. But do you think they can recover after getting knocked out of the Europa League?
They definitely have been a lot better lately in the league, but Reims has only scored 39 goals all year. Marseille has only conceded 39. That's about one a game. There's a lot of value here, in my opinion, in the under, which is 2.5 at plus 118. So I'm just going to back under 2.5 at plus 118. I know Marseille need a win out of this, so I could see this being 1-0 or 2-0, as Reims hasn't really scored a lot this year.
Yeah, not at all. They have been a big disappointment this season, I gotta say that. But you can't really blame the coach for stuff like that when you sell off like four or five players that been carrying the team for the last couple of seasons. Uh, Marseille, on the other side, like we said, they're fighting for that Conference League spot. They are now 3 points away with this game in hand. And they haven't lost in this matchup in their last seven games. As a matter of fact, they've won the last four games against the Real as well. So I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna take Marseille on the money line at plus 110. That's it. Thank you for joining us here once again, guys. You've been here with Kirk and Goran. We do have a lot of free picks to come. We do have another big weekend ahead. Last round in Bundesliga. Nine games on Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. That's gonna be quite an exciting morning for us, Kirk, who like to watch Bundesliga, by the way.
Yep, I think it's going to be a great one. So happy, excited for it, and let's end the season strong.
Over 2.5 goals in all nine games for a big parlay.
Maybe.
That's it, everyone. Like we said, thank you for joining us here. Feel free to leave a comment. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. And good luck with all of your bets. And stay tuned for more free picks coming up soon.